Hi and welcome to Priori Digital Studio tutorial. In this video, I will show you how to set up and use your Handmade small business tracker in the most efficient way. So in this video, I'm using Google Sheets, but the Excel version is exactly the same. First thing first, we protect most of the cells where there are formulas to make sure that you don't erase anything important that could impact the spreadsheet. So if you see this kind of message, don't worry. It means that you are not supposed to touch it, so simply click on cancel and you'll be fine. But don't worry, I'll show you step by step how to prepare your spreadsheet. So the order setup is the first tab of the business tracker section of this spreadsheet. Step 1, simply enter your currency symbol. It's going to be the only time that you will have to enter it. Step 2, add your business information and your payment info. Basically, this information will automatically be added to the automated invoice explained later in this video. So make sure that you don't make any typos or mistake. Step 3, write your tax percentage. If you are in a country with 2 or more different taxes, you can make the sum of the taxes. Then step 4, list all the different units for your raw materials or finished products. These units will be used in the drop-down in the rest of the spreadsheet. You will be able to add more later if needed. Then in step 5 here, list all your raw materials. So first write the name, then you can add a SKU, then write the initial unit price. We will see it later, but this might change based on your orders from your suppliers. Then write the minimum inventory as well as the unit. Of course, as you get new raw materials or you develop new product, you will be able to add more in the lists. Then finally, in step 6, list all your finished products. So the products you are actually selling in your shop. Write the SKU, the selling price, which is the price your customer sees before tax, as well as the minimum inventory and the unit. Now let's have a look at the order overview tab. So in this tab, you will be able to see your yearly overview of your business performance in terms of months. So set up the start date first. Simply type in the year. So I was already in 2023, but I'll type it again. Then use the drop-down menu to select a month. It's only the month where your year will start. So let's say your year starts in March. Simply select March. So this tab is looking at the data on a 12 months period. So you can select any month to start. So right beneath the start date, you have a summary of your best seller product as well as your best customer for the year. So right here. In this example, our best selling product is the coconut soap and our best seller customer is the customer A. So then on the side, you have a chart with the amount of money received each month and the amount on which you are waiting for your payments. So meaning that those are invoices that are unpaid. Of course, the best is to have all your invoices paid as soon as possible. Then you have a graph comparing the amount of money invoiced, so basically the revenue for the month and the amount of money you spent on restocking your inventory. So here again, the best is to get more invoiced amount and spend a little bit less on your restock so you can make a profit. Then in the middle of the spreadsheet, you have a very comprehensive summary table of the year. You can find all the information about your invoices right here and how many are paid and or unpaid for each month, as well as the money value for these invoices. You also have information on the average order value, the money spent on restock, your profit, as well as your profit margin. Don't worry about the numbers that I get here. This was just an example for the video, so I hope that yours will look better. If you scroll down a little bit, you also have a pie chart resuming all your inventory information, and you can have more details on the inventory on another tab, so don't worry. We also left a little bit of space for you to take notes or to-dos. So now let's have a look at the sales overview tab. So this tab will allow you to see at a glance your overall year performance in terms of sales per product. The whole tab is automated. The only thing you need to do is to select the date. So simply write the year and use the drop-down menu to select a month. You will be able to see the selling price of each product, the number of items sold per month, and the total revenue generated for each of your products. Then if you scroll it a little bit to the right, in the product section, you will see a summary of each product material cost and the associated expenses. Then on the far right, you will see the profit generated for each product. Now let's have a look at the product recipe tab. In this tab, you will be able to enter all your raw material needed to create all your finished products. So first of all, your finished product will be listed on the left of this spreadsheet. So this is totally automated. It will be appear as soon as you create a new finished product. Then you will have to enter the number of finished products each recipe makes. Then start listing your ingredients or raw material. Here, you can list up to 15 ingredients for each finished product. Try to be as precise as possible since this tab is linked to the inventory and will be able to calculate when you need to order. So let's make an example. I have an olive oil soap here. I said that when I do a batch, it creates about 20 soap. My first raw material is olive oil. I enter a quantity of 3 milliliters. Then I have natural soap. I'm using 1 bar and vanilla essential oil, 5 millimeters. But let's say I want to add more ingredients as an example. So I will add some another type of butter. Let's say I want to add 5. I just enter my quantity and then the unit will appear. So I added 5 grams. Then let's add something else, another type of oil. This is a very oily soap. So again, I just enter my quantity and the unit will appear by itself. So let's say that's finished here. So every time don't forget that every time you create a new product, you will also have to create the recipe. So this way our spreadsheet will be able to properly calculate the inventory that you will have to buy to restock and never be out of stock, basically. So now let's have a look at the price calculator tab. This tab will help you get a clear vision of your product cost breakdown. So the first thing you will have to do is simply use the drop-down menu to select the product you want to check out. So let's say I want to see the olive oil soap, our previous example. Then in the overview table here, add the profit margin you would like to have for this item, then add the discount if you plan to put one. So this looks good. Yeah, let's say I want to have a 20% margin, profit margin, and I want to, yeah, I'll leave 10% as the discount. Everything in the raw material table is automated, so you will not have to enter anything. However, in the labor cost, equipment cost, and other costs, you will have to add your own data. Be careful to write the right information in those tables and be honest with yourself because it will have an impact on the calculations. Let's say in the labor costs for the preparation, yeah, it took me 10 minutes instead of 5. Packaging, yeah, 3 minutes sounds good. And posting, let's say 15 minutes. And my hourly rate is $15. Perfect. Then add the equipment cost if you are using equipment. If you're selling candles, soap, or even jewelry, you need to take the amortization of your equipment into account to have a sustainable price. So in here, I wrote a few examples. Let's say to make my soap, I need a scoop, a pan, a microwave, and a mold. So those are the initial price for those equipments and the unit cost as well. So this is going to be depreciated over time. Then we also have the other cost section. You can add other costs like marketing or shipping. So here I added my marketing and warehouse cost. So those costs can be very little because they are spread over all your products. So once all your information is typed in, you will see a complete breakdown of your price. So let's scroll up. So this is the breakdown of your price. So in this example, we can see that our material is about 92 cents. The labor costs $7. Our equipment is about $2 and other is like 30 cents. So our product cost is $10.33. The initial net price was $12. It means that we have a $2 profit. However, we put it at a discount of 10%, so the net price decreases to about $11.62, and then we have the sales tax. So the final price, the price that the customers will see, is $12.79. So if we check up here, we have all this information summarized. So this is the selling price, which is the price that you will have on your Etsy shop or your website, the net price without the taxes, and the amount of money you will get in your pocket every time you make a sale. Then if we scroll down a little bit, we have a few questions, interesting questions that you can ask yourself. For example, if you want to sell your product at X amount, what would be your profit margin? If you want to make X amount of money, how many units you would have to sell? If you reduce your production costs by X amount of money, then what would be your profit and your increase in profit margin? And then if you change your profit margins to 15% or another percentage, then what would be the net price and how much would it decrease or increase? So those questions are very important to ask yourself. That's basically how you can grow your business and just play with numbers. So now let's have a look at the customer tracker tab. This tab will help you compile all your customer information. You can list your customer names, their company, if you're doing B2B, their address, city, state, zip code, country, email address, as well as a phone number. Then on the right-hand side of the spreadsheet, the data are auto-populated, so you don't need to enter anything. And you will be able to know the number of order for each customer, the total amount of money they spent in your shop, as well as the date of their last order. So now let's have a look at the raw material inventory. This tab will help you never run out of stock. The table on the left-hand side will help you to track your inventory of raw materials and its value. The only information you have to enter in this table is the initial inventory when you start this spreadsheet. So as you can see, all my material are listed. The one that I enter in my order setup, the SKU is there. And then, as I said, the only thing that you will have to enter is the initial inventory. So when you get this spreadsheet, you will have to do a little homework to go look at your material and just count how much you have at the beginning. This way, the spreadsheet will be able to make some calculation and let you know the status of your inventory. Later on, you also have the possibility to adjust your real inventory with the plus and minus column, and you can add a date to know, for example, if you have to do your inventory every month. You also have some space for notes. So as you can see, this table is very much detailed. So for each material, you will have the minimum inventory, the units, the quantity used, the restocked, and then the current inventory. And then at a glance, you can see the status of your inventory for each raw material. If you go to the right, you will see the reorder your raw materials table. This table allows you to track when you reorder a material from your supplier. So simply use the drop-down menu and click on your material, then add the supplier's name, the quantity you ordered, and the total costs of your order. then the unit cost will be automatically updated and adjusted in the price calculator. It's very important to add the real total cost. So this way you will always have the right unit price and you will know how to update your prices based on like inflation or price increase. You also have the possibility to track this order by adding the order date and the status of this order. It is very important to set the status as arrived when you get your order. Otherwise, this order will not be added to your inventory. So basically how the spreadsheet works, if your reorder is in ordered or shipped status, it's not taking into account in the calculation of the inventory. But once the status is on arrived, then this number, for example, the sea butter, once this the status is put on arrived, 100 grams will be added to the inventory. If we scroll up the top of the spreadsheet, you can easily see a summarized status of your inventory. So you will see how many products you have in stock, how many that you need to reorder soon, how many that is time to reorder, meaning that the inventory is below the minimum inventory, and how many products that you have out of stock. Then you also have the total value of your raw material in inventory, as well as a bar chart with the top 3 products you have ordered the most in your inventory. So this is really useful because if you see that you order some products really often, maybe you can order them in bigger batches and this way save on shipping costs. Now let's have a look at the finished product inventory tab. This tab is very similar to the raw material inventory tracker. The table on the left side of this tab is almost the same as the one in the previous tab, and the cells to fill are the same. So basically here is the list of all our finished products with all their details. The only thing that you have to set up is the initial inventory. You can also use the plus or minus column and the last date check when you have change into your inventory. Then again, same thing, you will see the status of your finished product. So some of them are in stock, some of them are needs to be prepared soon, and time to prepare. You will also see if you have enough raw material to prepare those finished products. So in our example, you can see we could only prepare vanilla candles and vanilla soap bar because for the other items we are missing some raw materials. So if we go to the right hand side of this tab, you will be able to track when you prepared your finished products. So in this tab, simply double click here and select your date, select the finished product that you prepared, then write the quantity that you created. So let's make an example. Let's say today I made a batch of strawberry soap and I created 15 bars. Then this is going to be reflected here. You can see now it's in stock. If we go back to the top of the page, you can easily see how many products you have in stock, how many to prepare, time to prepare, and out of stock. You also have the market value of your finished products right here that you have in inventory, and the bar chart with the top 3 products you have the most in your inventory. So this is also very, very interesting, meaning that you might want to put a sales on this vanilla candle or try to push it to customers to avoid having too much value in inventory just sitting at home waiting. And for me, the most interesting feature of this tab is definitely the column that shows you how many recipes of each finished product you can do with your raw materials that you have in inventory. So again, this column would be very important for you. So if we go back to our example, if I look at all my finished products, currently with the inventory of raw materials that I have, I could only create the vanilla soap bar. I could make 7 recipes, and same thing for the vanilla candle. I could make 11 recipes. So now let's have a look at the Order Tracker tab. This tab aims for you to track all your orders. First, you want to write the invoice number. So let's write a new example here. Then you will be able to select the customer from the drop-down menu. The information will come from the Customer Tracker tab. So let's select the customer. Let's say customer M. You then enter the issue date and the due date. So let's say it's due today. Perfect. The rest of the columns are automated, so you can directly scroll right. Let's do that here. So you can then start entering the different items of this order. Use the drop-down menu to select the item. Then you can write a description if you want. The unit price is automated. So let's make an example. This person ordered the olive oil soap. I will not write a description, but I can. This person ordered one. Then ordered the relaxing soap. I'll say lavender scent, let's say. And then this person ordered two, and that's it. Finally, the total will be calculated by itself. So if we scroll back, as you can see, all the amount, the taxes, and the total amount is calculated. So once the person paid, you simply enter the amount paid. So let's say this person paid the full price, so $104.50. So as you can see, the status will change automatically. You have 4 types of status: partially paid, overpaid, underpaid, and paid. So as you can see in this example, the total amount was over $3,000 and the customer only paid $200. So definitely this is partially paid. Here the total amount was $33 and the customer paid $34, so overpaid by $1. In this example here, the customer just didn't pay at all, so it's unpaid. And then my example was $104 and the customer paid the exact same price, so the status is paid. You also have some checkbox here, and when you click on it, the order is simply canceled and not counted in the calculation of the spreadsheet. So let's say this one was a canceled one. So as you can see, it's just strike through in red. So now let's go to the invoice tab. So this is an automatic invoice, and for this tab you simply have to enter your logo here, so you can add a logo to make it more professional. Then select the invoice number and all the other information will appear automatically. So my example was invoice number 8, so let's just track this. Here we go. So as you can see, I just chose the invoice number. This is customer M. I have all his information from the customer tracker. All my information are here, and it's from the order setup. Same thing for my payment details. Everything is automated. And as you can see, we can see exactly what this customer bought: the olive oil soap and the relaxing soap. And as you can see, the description that I wrote appears here. You can also print this invoice. To do so, simply click on the printer icon, and then as you can see, everything is here. Make sure that all the formats make sense. Then click on next, and then you can simply print it. It's the same thing in Excel, and everything is also explained in our instruction manual. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to refer to it. And by mistake, I click, as you can see, that's a very good example. By mistake, I click on the cells with formulas. So again, don't panic if you see this kind of message. Simply click on cancel and everything will be fine. So I hope this tutorial helps you easily set up your spreadsheet. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or concern. Follow us on Etsy and YouTube for sneak peeks on new templates. Thank you.